Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick update on my experience with the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Now, I can tell you when I first purchased this phone, it was purely for review purposes. However, I have found myself in love with this thing, quite frankly. And yes, it is just an incredibly improved version of the Note 8. You can make whatever argument you want. In fact, that was what was going through my head when I purchased it, was that, oh, an S Pen that can help you take a selfie and, having better battery life really isn't a means to an end for a phone upgrade. But what I can tell you is that all Samsung saying that you're getting, or much of the reviews out there saying you're only getting an additional hour of battery life, is just complete crap. This thing has not been on the charger all day, and it's still in the 80s. And I'm at end of business here. It's just about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard in the United States, and it's just chugging along. Now, granted, my usage today was light, but even on heavy usage days, this is not going near a charger. I do have a case being shipped to me for review by Zero Lemon that adds an additional 5,000 milliamp hours, which really is going to make this thing an incredible battery beast. But I can tell you right now, the 4,000 milliamp hour battery alone, plus the overall performance and polish and fit and finish that Samsung has brought together with this device, really make it the best phone on the market right now. There's nothing else for you to really be looking at, in my opinion, if you need a phone now. Now, does that mean that something will not come out better in the next, 6 months? We're still waiting on the next Pixel. We all pretty much know what the specs are, though, so nothing really shocking when it comes to that. But the overall performance, battery life, the stereo speaker now, the audio quality is so much improved. These are things that I didn't think would be a big deal, but as I spent time with it, which is why I've held off until now on giving you my first real update on my experience with this phone, I can tell you it is worth it. Absolutely no question about it. Now, if you're a Note 8 user, you may not want to make the jump. You may want to wait until next generation, and I understand why. But if you are not a Note 8 user, absolutely spend the difference and get yourself the Note 9. Do yourself a favor. And that's not to say that the Note 8 is still not one of the best phones on the market, because it is. Only one generation older Qualcomm processor, same amount of RAM. Yes, less storage at 64 versus the 128 gigs we're looking at here. Of course, you can go all the way up to the 512 gig version, complemented by 8 gigs of RAM. Do I think that's necessary? No, for the majority of society, it definitely isn't. And at one point in time, I myself even thought that unless I was getting the 8 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, there was no logical upgrade path. But after having used it for the amount of time that I have, I can tell you that this is hands down the best phone I have ever used. Battery life, overall functionality, pairing with the Samsung Galaxy Watch, which of course I'll be getting to an update on that since I just unboxed it. And that's why all of these unboxings have been coming later, is because I really did not think I was going to go all in on the Note 9. And what can I say? When you get something and it does exactly what it promises and then some, which is what my experience so far with this phone has been, it's a keeper, folks. There's really nothing to critique except for maybe the size of the device, especially once you have an S-View case on it. It's getting bulky, no question. This generally would have been the size of an older phone with, an OtterBox Defender on it. But functionality-wise, the best display on the market, one of, if not the best camera system array on the market, with the 12-megapixel rear variable aperture business going on, the 8-megapixel on the front. Yes, I wish they would have done a little bit more there, but anyone who watches my channel already knows I'm a camera guy, so until someone sticks, and it's been done already in the past, yes, I know, but in a new phone, a 1-inch sensor that's comparable to the RX 100, nothing is going to take the RX 100 series out of my hand for the go-to pocketable point-and-shoot camera. But if you're in a pinch, this does a very good job. The relocation of the fingerprint scanner, that really wasn't a big deal to me. That was yet another reason I was underwhelmed by this announcement, by this launch. That's why I didn't pre-order it on day one. But again, in the time I've spent with it, I've been completely sold because I cannot remember the last time I had a powerhouse phone like this that literally can do just about everything that you could imagine without the expense of having to find the charging cable or a backup battery pack, anything of that nature. And that's again with heavy usage. I mean, by the time I'm ready to go to bed at night, I'm usually in the high 40s to 50% range. So again, reviewers who are saying this phone only gets an hour more than the Note 8, I feel like didn't use the Note 8 for the last year, because I know that by midday, the Note 8 was getting close to expiration. So this is that, on paper, it may not seem like a big jump going from the 3,300 milliamp hour battery to the 4,000, but it's not just that. It's the efficiency of the Qualcomm 845 Snapdragon, in addition to obviously optimized software. And remember, you will have a longer roadmap with this phone than you're going to, of course, with the Note 8 or any other Galaxy phone. I mean, I'm assuming the S9, S9 Plus are going to have the same roadmap. If you don't find yourself needing the S Pen, of course you can go the route of the S9 or Plus, but I got to tell you, Samsung hit it out of the park. For everyone out there that's underwhelmed by this phone, I don't know what you've been using. Again, call quality is great, everything, internet performance, camera, Bluetooth, GPS, not a single hiccup. And that is why I am sold. And yes, I did pay for this, the retail $1,000. Samsung did not provide this to me for review. So, when people say this is a real review, I kind of feel like they're full of shit. And all of my reviews are real. But of course, there are plenty of fake ones out there, which I guess is why people say real review. At any rate, did not think there was any way I was going to keep this phone. And now I am, because it really just is that much better. And considering it's my daily driver, it is worth every dollar. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.